Is Quadre? Oh, sorry. Is Quadre the
Both
guy?
tight ends caught a ball.
Well utilized.
Yeah, I made sure I got those 2 plays in there for you. Like that jersey too, by the way.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
I was thinking about you after the game all night. Like, got those tight ends the ball.
I don't remember writing about the tight ends, honestly.
I was just playing.
Okay.
You didn't ask about them?
No.
I think it was a kid up here.
Oh, my bad, my bad.
I'm
He's not here today.
No, he's not here today.
Because whenever you,
My apologies.
I think for good reason.
that went way over my head.
Oh, my bad.
I will say this, there was some conversation up in the press box when the second tight end did catch the pass, so there was a reference, yes.
So, good deal. Go ahead.
All right. I get the first question. All right. Quadre, is he the guy going forward? Has he earned the right to start?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I thought that what he did the second half of Kentucky, and then that game, obviously, I thought he played well. I mean, nobody plays perfect. There's obviously some things we have to clean up, but he's definitely the guy moving forward.
Did he make more kinds of throws Saturday? In other words, different patterns than maybe we didn't see that first go around?
Probably so, yeah. I mean, the structure of their defense was a little different too. So, but yeah, I would say absolutely. I mean, he made a lot of different throws Saturday. We knew that they were going to be softer probably on the corner, so we were taking some advantage of some stuff, outward cutting stuff, and so he definitely was kind of a different attack plan, and so it was much, definitely different.
Can you talk about the success in the running game you guys had, especially, with Ito getting a long run, T-Rod, and everything?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, it goes back to, I remember I was talking about it after the first game, is that we gotta figure out quickly offensively what they're trying to take away, and I think that we have enough players on the outside that if they are gonna give us a weak box or a weaker box, then we should be able to run and get explosive runs, and we did. We ran the ball well Saturday. Not great all the time, but I think it was definitely better.
Do you think I know y'all did some shuffling on the offensive line to make up for the injury. How did that pan out?
I thought it panned out well. I mean, I think if you ask Los, our missed assignments went down, which is probably, had to do with, it was a pretty simple game plan, and so moving guys around, keeping things pretty simple was good. But I do think those guys settled in, and if you look at even the second wave of people that came in, I thought they played well too. And I think the right guard deal with Stoots and Jimmy played out well. Both of those guys graded out high, and we got a lot of production out of both of those guys.
I saw both rushing touchdowns came on a series when Jimmy was in there. Even at less than 100%, he's pretty solid.
Yeah, he is. He is less than 100%, no doubt, but he's going to give you everything that he has, and he's a very explosive guy, and so he can move things. Put it that way.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
What does ULM do defensively that might be a little different from teams you played already?
Well, it's hard to tell with those guys right now because we don't have a whole lot of information. We have one game that was a monsoon, and so I don't know if it was, because of that game. Memphis really didn't try to throw the ball. You really couldn't. It's hard. You could watch the game. Heck, it was hard to get a grip on the ball, and so I don't know if they were aggressive because of the rain or it's a change in mentality. I don't know. So I think that. Again, going into this week, it's going to be let's figure out and see what they're going to do, because they've shown, if you look at last year to right now, it's kind of a split personality deal. There's a couple different personalities that are popping their head out. So I really don't know what to expect from them, to be honest with you. We're going to have a plan for anything, and then to be quite honest with you, we're going to have to adjust, throughout the course of the game.
Coach, the defense, I guess it helps when they score 2 touchdowns themselves. Just from your perspective, how improved is the defense this season, you think?
You see it, I've been going against it you know, the crazy thing about football is, and I explained this to our guys the other day, if you take the beginning of fall camp to the first game, you have, I mean, not 30 practices, but close. But then if you take throughout the course of the year, you practice 2 times a week in full pads, 3 times if you count the other practice. Well, you multiply that times even, I mean, just 10. That's 30 practice. So you almost have as many practices in preseason camp that you do during the year, you know. Not a lot of people think about it that way, but it's true. So that's why it's such a grind at the beginning. But going against those guys every single day, you know, I had a pretty good idea of the level they were going to play at. You know, I mean, they're just hard to handle up front. You know, they really are. And so, you know, and it don't matter what you do offensively. I mean, you can run Stanford offense, you can run our offense, you can do whatever. But if you lose the battleground up front, you're probably not going to win the game. You know.
Also, guys, Saturday we haven't seen yet, like Tim Jones, for instance.
Yep.
So now we have he's not redshirt. How do you guys plan to, at a deep position like that, you guys seem to think he's going to play up?
Well, we've been moving Tim around a good bit, playing some, you know, inside and outside receiver. And, you know, with young guys like him, and it's him and a couple other guys, we're bringing them on fairly slow. But ultimately, I know how things go in the year. Like, you know, Tim's going to play a lot of football. And so we're getting those guys ready. And the good thing is the more he can play, the fresher we'll be towards the end, you know. So I want to try to get it to where I thought last year, if you look at our receiving core, I mean, we got beat up through the course of the year. And at the end, we were beat up and depleted, you know. And so I think this year I want to play more people. You know, I want to play those guys that are talented and get them going and rep them in practice. And then, you know, at the end of the year, hopefully we have more people that are making plays and they're healthy, you know.
As an OC, how pleased with you that everyone, I won't say everyone, but almost everyone, you know, got to, you know, get the ball and going forward, what do you think that can be impactful for?
Well, I think that, you know, I've always looked at that, to be honest with you. If you talk about Sundays when I evaluate the game, the number of people that touch the ball are important. Because, I mean, people talk about balanced offense or whatever, and I've always believed that a balanced offense is one where a lot of people touch the ball. I don't necessarily look at, okay, how many times you run it, how many times you throw it, because that's really, in today's game, that's more skewed than it was before. Because even if you look at our game Saturday, I think out of 70-something plays, heck, I think 56 of them were run game called plays. You know, now obviously 15 of them got thrown or whatever, but, you know, you really can't look at run pass as far as that balance because the ball goes multiple places. And so, but I do think that if you look at the human beings that touch the ball, like we had 11 guys that at least caught one pass, that's pretty good. Anytime you have 6 or 7, that's really good, you know. But in a game like that, obviously it's going to be a few more. But even throughout the course of the first half, there was a lot of people touching the ball. You know, and we didn't have really one guy with 10 catches. We got 2 or 3 guys with 5 or 6 catches, which in my opinion is good because now, you know, defenses can't just focus on one guy. You know, they're going to go to this guy. You know, I mean, if you got different guys touching the ball, then, you know, it kind of spreads them, you know, this way and that way.
You talk about the spread too. Your guys' ability to go deep has got to be scaring the bejesus out of people watching that film. Because I mean, it's just that's a heck of a thing. Great throw by Quadra on the touchdown.
No doubt. Right when he threw it, I thought he overthrew it. But then he came to the sideline and said, "I thought you overthrew that." I said, "I got you, coach." Perfect throw, you know. So, but I do think that that's an element that, you know, you go back and talk about the question earlier about the run game. You know, I mean, those two things, I mean, football is not complicated. You know, you can put 11 guys out there, where you put them is important. And so, you know, with the ability to go vertical and the ability to run the football, you know, we just got to be smart about what we do.
I know Stutzman had lost some weight kind of coming in from being sick, and to plug him back out there and to contribute, was there a point where you kind of worried if he was going to be able to?
I was. I mean, there was a point in camp where I was like, "Yeah, I might have to move you to receiver," you know, or I need to get whatever sickness you had. A couple people in this room need to get that sickness. But yeah, I was definitely worried about him. But he did bounce back, you know, and I think that, you know, that kid went through it in camp, no doubt, and he was losing weight by the day, and But eventually, when he got healthy, he did put it back on or close to it. So I was really impressed with the way he played Saturday. You know, I thought he went out there and played really well.
Anything else?